Well, to talk more about this, I'm joined now at the big table by Thomas Kleine-Brockhoff. He is vice president of the German Marshall Fund think tank here in Berlin. He is one of the people who signed that letter. Thomas, it's good to have you on the program. China's foreign ministry, they're accusing you and the others who signed this letter of being disrespectful and meddling in China's judicial process. What do you say to that?
Well, I'm a private citizen. I'm a policy researcher. I don't represent a country. How could I be meddling? And if the Chinese Foreign Ministry refers to a judicial process, I would like to know what that process is. So far, these two colleagues have been detained on trumped-up charges, actually on no real charges, for 6 weeks. No access to them, no clear information about their treatment. There's really nothing. Therefore, we're calling on the Chinese government to let these people free.
Yeah, in the letter, you say that these arrests will discourage foreigners from building relationships with China and ultimately leave China worse off. Why do you think that that argument is going to persuade President Xi Jinping?
President Xi Jinping a year ago came to Davos and styled himself as a liberal and as a proponent of a free trade order. Now, if you want to do business with the West, you can't arrest its citizens. That will backfire against you in the long run. And by the way, China researchers is a relatively small group of people who have a soft spot for China. If you turn them away, you're not going to have a very good response to your politics and your country outside of your country.
You know, we've been hearing a lot about this arrest being a tit-for-tat response to the arrest that was made in Canada. I mean, but let's broaden that out a little bit. Would you be concerned, if you were traveling to China right now, would you be concerned after signing that letter that you would be arrested and no charges would be filed?
Well, Michael Spavor, Michael Kovrig did not sign such a letter, and yet they were arrested and became a pawn in a much bigger game that the Chinese seem to be playing. So yes, in a regime like this, there is always a risk for anybody traveling there, which is why I would expect and would hope for my own government to step up and step to the side of the Canadians and demand freedom for these two people. They have indeed, a couple of weeks ago, called for fair treatment. Fair treatment is important. A judicial process important. It's more important for people who are on trumped-up charges to be let free. The German foreign minister has declared an alliance of multilateralists with the Canadian foreign minister to his side last fall. This would be a great opportunity to show that there is an alliance of multilateralists.
Are you worried, though, Thomas? We've got a report tonight that the U.S. is pushing for extradition of that executive from Huawei, from Canada to the United States. Are you worried that that's going to make the situation worse?
I am not a friend of America's extraterritorial sanctions regime. It's it's an instrument that can be abused. Now, there is a judicial process in Canada. I trust that judicial process. The Huawei official was let free on bail. So let's have that Canadian process play out.
All right. Thomas Kleine-Brockhoff, Vice President of the German Marshall Fund. We appreciate you coming in to talk with us tonight. Thank you, Thomas.